I've seen a really ridiculous take on Twitter, and this kind of forced me to make a video about it. And it's the take that Jaylen Brown was the exact reason why Luka Doncic got traded to the Lakers. And if it was Nico Harrison, I appreciate it because I love having Luka on my team. This came from Clutch Points this morning because they posted about Mark Spears saying that Nico Harrison believed that Luka Doncic couldn't be the guy because of his conditioning, which is fair, and that Jaylen Brown absolutely dominated the series and defended Luka to hell. For the untrained eye, Luka Doncic was getting a lot of criticism for almost averaging a 29-point triple-double across the finals, but I can't just stop there because sometimes that can be deceiving. I really wanted to focus on games 2 and 3 because those were games that the Mavericks probably could have won and changed the whole transition of the series. And you could say, Reese, why aren't you focusing on 1, 4, or 5? Well, they were blowouts, so it kind of skews my fourth quarter statistics. Starting off with game 2, Luka Doncic had 29 points going into the fourth quarter. So at this point, you're like, he's poised to have 40 points, but not when he shoots 1 for 6 in the fourth quarter. And now I was like, all right, let's look at every single one of those shots and figure out, was Jaylen Brown contesting them? Going over his 6 shots in game 2 in the fourth quarter were his first 2 were him trying to exploit a matchup against Peyton Pritchard, which makes sense, but they were tough pull-up shots. Those are stuff I have seen Luka hit, but again, not defended by Jaylen Brown, and this at that point was a 10-point game. The next shot he took was trying to split basically Derek White and Brown at the same time, and I just don't think that is a high percentage shot. Brown did get his hand in it, so I think maybe you can count that as a contest, but it wasn't like Luka Doncic trying to break him down one-on-one and Jaylen Brown gets a block. Like, this is how they're making it seem on Twitter. His next shot is that Luka Doncic tries to get the matchup he wants against Kristaps Porzingis, and he goes to his coveted move of the kind of step. He takes his foot back and tries to shoot a 3, and it just doesn't go, which I think that's, again, a poor shot selection on Luka. And I'm not trying to kind of give blame somewhere else. It's just a bad shot against a 7'4" defender. Yes, he makes those, but probably not the right time for it. So Luka did shoot a lot during the game, and you could say 6 shots in the fourth quarter is a lot, or however you want to say that, but he didn't take a shot from 550 in the fourth quarter to 115, which that is a problem if your star player is not getting the ball or scoring in the fourth quarter. I did watch it. Yes, he's passing. Yes, he had a triple-double this game. He's getting the offense involved, and it is a close game, but I just think that cannot happen. So speaking on that, at 115, his next shot was a drive-in on Al Horford. He felt Al Horford on his back, and then he dropped the N1. So again, that pushes him to 32 points. And then his last shot in the game was they were down by 7. It was like a one-legged heave that Jaylen Brown did get a back contest for, so that's probably going to count in the statistic, but again, not what they're making it seem. Going to game 3, the Mavericks found themselves in a 20-point hole closer to the start of the fourth quarter, which I was shocked that they even stood a chance and came back and made it a 3-point game. Luka Doncic had 5 shots. This is going to be a bit skewed because he got fouled out around the 4 or 5 minute mark, and obviously if your best player gets fouled out at that point, the game is kind of done in the finals game. You can tell as soon as Luka Doncic was fouled out, the momentum just shifted and the Celtics took over. So starting off with Luka Doncic's first shot, this was actually against Jaylen Brown, but you could tell that they were playing with the lead and he barely put any body on him, and Luka just dropped an easy one. And I'm not going to say Jaylen Brown was a bad defender, but this was just, he didn't care. Like, they were up by 16 or 20 at that point, and Luka Doncic should have made it. So that is going to go to that 9 to over 22 statistic, but again, not really a real shot. Like, again, it's not what the media is saying. Like, it's not saying like, oh, we got picked up from half court. This, like, no, I'm not taking that. That he should have made that shot. Luka Doncic's next shot is him just overpowering Peyton Pritchard, which should happen every single time, and it's a drive and layup. It's nothing to really be special about. And which was his final points of the night, ending at 27 points. The next shot in the fourth quarter was Doncic missing a wide open 3 after a ankle breaker. And again, an easy shot. This is not like the Celtics defense. It's just, oh my God, they overpowered Luka. No, he missed a wide open 3. Yes, it was a 16-point game at this point, but they did make it closer by the end of it. So his second last shot in the game, even JJ Redick on the broadcast said that should have been a foul or should have been looked at closer as a foul. Tatum kind of does a bit more than like weight him to his table and puts his hand on his back, and Luka misses an easy layup, which he usually never does, and gets pushed into the fans. I think probably it could have been a call, but depending on how the game was being called, I can see why maybe it wasn't. It was kind of light. Maybe re-looking at it, probably could have been a foul. But again, it was an easy layup on Jason Tatum, not Jaylen Brown. And Luka's last shot of the fourth quarter was going to be one. It was against Jason Tatum, and it was a fadeaway. He got stuck underneath the basket. He didn't really have anywhere to go. I would have liked to see him pass out of it. Takes a tough fade, just doesn't go his way. So as much as the media is trying to say that Jaylen Brown was a huge factor in the series, yes, all of those clips are from Game 5 saying that he was denying the ball, picking up half court. But I'm sorry, if it's 3-1 at that point, the series is already done. Luka Doncic did have a decent game in Game 5, but it just wasn't enough. I don't think enough people are even mentioning that this Celtics team, after rewatching these clips, it reminded me on exactly how good this team was. The Mavericks defense as a whole left a lot of gaps for Tatum to drive in and kick out. And again, Drew Holiday, Derek White all had huge games across the series. So my final thoughts on this take, if Jaylen Brown was the deciding factor, if Luka Doncic got traded, I think it's ridiculous, and I think it's a controversy take to kind of, well, it's having me make a video about it. So yeah, it's controversy. I don't think that is a real reason why you trade your superstar in the middle of the season, and don't try and find a better deal, I think. I'm excited to see this matchup again. Now, obviously, they're playing tonight, 8:30, Lakers-Celtics. LeBron against the Celtics is always an awesome matchup, and these teams are title aspirations. So it should be a great game, hoping for a Luka Doncic revenge game on them, especially with a better supporting cast with the Lakers. Lakers in 5, we're looking to go 9 in a row, so I'm excited. We'll see.